never think, I never know. I'm stuck and left alone. I've been lost, I've been fine. My cause is not defined. Won't you kiss me? Won't you play? Won't you drive me? Ain't no way I could deny you, I could stray. Won't you kiss me? Ain't no way. Want you, want you. Come and try me now, so come and try me now. I was never left alone. I never think, I never know. I'm stuck and left alone. I've been lost, I've been fine. My cause is not defined. Won't you kiss me? Won't you play? Won't you drive me? Ain't no way I could deny you, I could stray. Will you kiss me? Ain't no way. I was never left alone.
What's good? What's good? What's good? How's everybody doing? Crack-a-lack-a-lackin'. What's going on? Uh, how was everybody's week? How was everybody's week? Been pretty cool. Starting a little bit early today. I got some things to do. You know what I'm saying? We all get busy in these streets. But how's everybody been doing? What's been going on? Been doing some things, some things myself. But going forward, we're gonna do some switching up on the channel, especially with the show. I'm gonna be in my Tucker Carlson's bag a little bit. We're gonna get better with the presentation. If it looked like I just kind of got up, whatever, I've been up for a while, but you know what I'm saying? We just sitting here chilling. I got my old school shirt on, you know what I'm saying? Was doing some things this morning, chilling out, relaxing in the house, doing my thing, you know what I'm saying? Chilling and stuff like that. So, how was everybody's week? I know it was kind of a short, long week. You know, we had Juneteenth last week, and then it was Father's Day. You know, a lot of things going on in the news and in the world, especially things going on in the YouTube streets. We're gonna get these articles popping. Usually, when I do these articles and stuff like that, and I break things, I just try to bring y'all the things that y'all should be paying attention to, and then some type of entertainment too. Because if you're having fun while you're learning of things, right? Then then you understand a couple of things, and you'll be more interested in the content. But I appreciate everybody, the love and support that everybody's that's my subs that is giving me, and the people that's been supporting me from day one. Especially behind the scenes, chopping it up with these people. What I'm saying? They always give me insight on some things and having wonderful intellectual conversation. Um, so we're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with that. But I wanted to do an opening salvo. I found some things that was a little bit troubling to me when I was looking at something, right? And I thought this was really funny, right? And actually, Shar, Shar, she does this every show, and her show is actually tomorrow. What I'm saying? So check her out. Just Ask Char Advice channel. But she does this, she does these quotes. What I'm saying? And I think that is very, because a lot of people don't read the quotes. I read the quotes, and people that read the quotes, even my homeboy CJ, he said, man, I love those quotes that she puts up, man. It's very insightful. And I think, what I'm saying, when you see something like that, you do it, but you do it in your own way. So I like to give credit to Shar for that. And now as you come in, say hi to everybody, say, what I'm saying, and hit that like button. I'm saying it does help support the channel, get it in the algorithm so more people can join in on the fun. So I saw this and I thought it was rather interesting. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put this up on the screen. And it says happy is a kick in the balls waiting to happen. You know what I'm saying? And what I've realized, with a lot of these people that are in that space over there, because I've made it a consistent effort. I've been talking about this for years, for about since the end of 2018. That people are free to go because people have different interests and things like that in YouTube. I look at different things. You probably look at different things. Everybody have different interests that they're interested in. But the black sector of YouTube is pretty much the only place that we as black people we can interact, but I don't think it's functional to a certain degree. I don't think the functionality, there's not a lot of platforms where a Discord can be established and solutions are met with. And what I realize is that people are not happy, right? And people are not happy at all, right? A lot of people, if you go and check, if you go and check this, right? Like if you go look at what I would like you to do, if you're listening to your fellow content creator or someone that you're subscribed to or something like that, listen to what they're saying when they're happy, then look at the numbers of the people that are watching the stream, whether you're interacting or not, then continue to listen, right? Then when they get angry, go back and listen and look at their numbers, right? And it's something about anger and drama, dysfunction and frustration between each other that garners a lot of attention more than not. Like, things are sold this way. Now, you got to ask yourself, are you really like this? Because really, no one doesn't like not to be happy, right? No one wants to live. Like, actually, let's go like this, right? You can have a great day, right? You can leave. I'm like, everything could be, you wake up in the morning, your favorite song's on the radio or a new song you never heard, but you're really into it, right? You wake up, you cook your breakfast, you're happy, you're going to work, you hit every green light to work, right? You're going to work happy because you know that you're just going to work to clock in, but you're leaving in like 2 hours, right? Everything's fine. You go to work, you get there, you get a promotion, you didn't even know it was coming, you get your time off, you leave work, You go to lunch with one of your friends that you ain't seen since high school. You'll kick it off, have a good time, gonna do it again. You're rolling home, you get into a store, you buy something you didn't know they had a sale, right? It's buy one, get one free of whatever favorite item that you like. You get that item, right? And then you roll out, you get through the front door, right? You see, maybe you live by yourself, maybe you got a significant other, who knows, right? And then what happens then is you stub your toe, right? On the side of a chair, table, bed, whatever, right? And just in that second, right? We're not talking about the first 6 hours of your day, far as you waking up, having a good dream. We're not talking about those 8, 10 hours right there. All of that goes right out the window. And the only thing that you're thinking about is this messed up my day. You stubbing your toe just messed up your whole day. All of that good stuff came right behind each other, and you stubbing your toe messed up your day. And you want to get back to that happiness, right? This is why people engage in addiction, right? They don't mean to, they don't want to, they have to medicate, right? When you are going through something, let's just say like a surgery or something like that, or you have some type of chronic illness or pain, you take pain medication to alleviate the pain, right? But the after effect of some of these things, right? Like, some of these drugs, they give you a state of euphoria or happiness, right? It attacks that part of your brain, right? It drives that desire sensor, right? And happiness and all of that, right? Now, the problem is that in this space, where's the happiness? Why are people spending so much time, hours upon hours, arguing? But do they get happiness out of that? Or they just putting out their pain, their frustration, their sadness, their anger with no solutions, right? And then at the end of the day, who is in charge of your happiness? Like who is in charge of your happiness? You are in charge of your happiness. And I thought about this, you know, for time upon time, like who is in charge of your happiness? Now, you're probably asking me, why am I bringing this up? Well, I've been, perusing the spaces and listening from the clouds and just watching, right? And I've seen people in the space, they are there are times when they are happy, when they're having great conversation, right? They're having great conversation. And when I mean great conversation, um, everybody's laughing. They're finding they have a lot in common, and then they got to stop. It's like, no, I can't be happy. No, I got to keep this anger persona up. I have to be angry, upset, and frustrated at this because this is why I'm here, because I can't show that I'm happy, right? Because me being happy would be a contradiction of my online persona of being an angry person, right? Be it male or female, right? But then we get to the point of, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you angry about, right? Like, are you angry about the social issues of the culture, or of the people that it affect, yourself and many others that look like you, right? And we can have many disagreements or many solution based arguments about that, but then we have to put it in practice, right? So then that comes with a solution, and if there's a solution, then you no longer can be angry about it, right? Um, then we come to the point where 90%, well, let's just say 95% of the problems that people are angry about in the space leads back to men versus women on both sides of the spectrum. And there's really no balance in between that, because then it comes on how you feel. And then that feeling, which is fine because you're supposed to feel things, which is fine, but then you're in charge of your happiness. So there's no one on the planet Earth that can make you happy but you. I'm going to say that again, and I'm going to speak it from the top of the mountain. There's no one that can make you happy but you. So if you think that you're going to find happiness in another person, then you already have failed in whatever relationships or whatever things that you're about to do. Right? If you're not happy, you have to be happy with yourself. You have to be happy to be your own best friend. I'm like, we all know that we can be our own worst enemy, because if we're always searching for happiness, and if you're searching for happiness within yourself, and then you find that happiness, then you know who to let go of, and then you know that that those people or those things or the environment around you is not conducive to your happiness, right? You know what I'm saying? So now, unless you feel some type of happiness, or you get something out of it, it makes you happy to go around and spreading certain things or doing whatever, that's on you. Now, there's a time and a place where people need to unwind, and they need to, unpack their baggage and their things. And that's fine. And we can talk about those, and those things are understandable, but your happiness is your happiness, and you have to be in charge of that. The thing that I don't understand is the self-degradation of people, because this person shouldn't be heard because they have a vagina, and this person shouldn't be heard because they have a penis, or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? And I don't get into all of the rest of that I identify as, because that is your business. I don't care. If you're happy with identifying as a toaster, go right ahead. That's not my problem. You know what I'm saying? If you're happy, you're happy. I'm cool with that. Don't put it on me. I'm not in charge of your happiness. So, what I want to say is this: I'm going to, me consciously, step away from conversations that has nothing to do with progress or solutions or general discord with people who are not happy with themselves. And you can spot people that are not happy with themselves, right? Now, we all ain't happy with ourselves 100% of the time. This is not a thing, right? But I don't think it's conducive to anybody, man, woman, child, whatever, if that happens. Like, this is just me. Like, you can do whatever you want if you're entertained by it, and it makes you happy listening to other people, argue for 22 to 34 and 50, streams. And I'm talking about streams like this stream person, then they go, and then this back and forth. If that's cool with you, fine. So be it. I'm like, if that makes you happy, do you, right? But what I'm going to do, and I'm gonna just say me, this is just me, I'm going to stay away from people that are not generally happy with themselves, that seek happiness in other individuals and not themselves. Now, we all need human interaction. This COVID thing has really put us in a bind, because humans need human interactions. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm an only child, I can take being by myself more than most people I notice, but we still need human interactions. I got family, kids, stuff like that, right? So that's just me. I just wanted to give that little opening salvo, let y'all know. I've been seeing this. I've been seeing people, men talk about men ain't this, they ain't that. Women saying women ain't this, that ain't that. Men saying women ain't this, women saying men ain't that. You look at their resume, you go down the list of whatever, and some of them are fair and balanced, because they will put a stop on it. So I know what point they're trying to make. So I'm not painting everybody with a broad brush, but I'm going to say majority of the people that's in the space, right? Majority of the people that's in the space, if you're saying that, let's take it for instance, if you're saying as a man, right, that these women, and when they say these women, they're talking about the women they have access to, which is, I'm black, so they're talking about black women, right? And they say these women ain't this. Okay, well, show us the women as that, and then you show us a example of how you were successful in it. You know what I'm saying? And you know what they said? No one actually shows it, right? And then even on the other end of the spectrum, no one shows it. You feel me? Like there's no examples, and the people that are happy, and if they say they don't even mention that they're not even dealing with those people that don't make them unhappy because they're happy now. You get what I'm saying? They found a solution to that. They found a solution to that. I noticed that people that find solutions show you the example of the solution on both ends of the spectrum. People that complain and that are unhappy keep talking about the same thing without any solutions. Nothing. They didn't find any happiness in it, right? You know what I'm saying? You complain because you want to find a solution, maybe, right? You point it out and then you want to find a solution. I remember one of the founding pillars of the manosphere says, I'm not here for solutions. I'm here to point out the problem. So you're here to complain. Last time I checked, men or human beings, men and women, because we're not just going to, just count out women for this, but men and women, when they see a problem, they want to find a solution because you de-evolve after that. You cease to exist, right? If you cannot basically tackle the environment, then what is it? Now, the thing that I find disheartening and the thing that is very upsetting is that when I see a woman sit up and degrade her own culture and people, right, with no solutions to show for it. Now, that is sad to me. That is very sad to me. That means you're not very happy. And then you're placating to a group of individuals that are not happy themselves because if you were on this pedestal, you were so great, why haven't you been chosen? So what does that come down to? That means you're good to talk, but you're not trusted either, right? It's like Stockholm syndrome. But so I just that was just that. So what am I going to do? So I have to lead by example, right? Because you know what I mean, for the most part, I'm a happy dude. You know what I'm saying? I try to stay happy. There's many things that I live and go through and stuff. Like, things are finally getting back to normal where I'm at. With this with this pandemic going on, there's things happening in the world that we need to understand, right? We need to know. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to say is your happiness is your mental health, right? And you have to find happiness within. You have to find some type of thing that is your calling, that you feel that you have done to fulfill yourself. Like you have to find your lane in life. You have to have your hobbies. Sometimes you need to get your information, and if things ain't conducive to your happiness, you need to roll, because the more that you hear these things, the more that they seep into your subconscious, and the more that you look at the world with a skewed view to a certain degree. I'm like, we all need to be critical of things to a certain degree, but if you're overly critical, then when are you going to find that happiness? Because you're always looking at things jaded. If I can, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just you know what I mean? I hope you understand where I'm coming from. So I'm going to say this is just me. This is my opinion, mind you. This is not taking any shots. I'm like, I can take shots at people. People have been taking shots at me for a long time. I can take shots at people, but right now at this point in time, I choose not to. And if I do take a shot, it's going to be in comic relief form. We'll get the honorable reverend up here to have a conversation. Everybody loves the Reverend Pimp Greasy, but right now he's on a revival and vacation right now. So he'll be back, probably next week or something like that. You know how that works out, right? Depending on if you're going to get those donations. So what we're going to do with the platform from now on, we're going to come at you direct, more like in a PC Tucker Carlson type of way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to put on a suit. I ain't going to do all that. I ain't gonna have no little things in the background. You know what I mean? I might spruce it up with some lights or something like that. But it's sometimes you'll see me, and sometimes I'll just have my avatar up. It's whatever, right? But free to check out the channel. You know what I'm saying? I got some vlogs up. I'm gonna be doing some other things, doing some talking here, pre-recorded things, just giving you my thoughts sometimes. And I just want to show you some things and give me some suggestions of what you want me to talk about. Albeit there's certain things I'm not going to talk about. And I'll just tell you straight up. I've made it a conscious decision that I'm going to dive out of the social issues when it concerning Black people in America to a certain degree. I'm just going to present it as it is because I don't live in America, and I've been told countless times over and over again, just permeating the space by other people, not the people that I'm close to and talking to back chats, but I've been told countless times that I don't live in America. It doesn't affect me. Blah, 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 blah. I shouldn't be talking about it. Yada, 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 yada. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Because if I'm talking about it, that means you don't have to talk about it. And then you can judge me on how I deliver it, but it's only a critique of whatever. But okay, cool. And not everybody can come to my solution of doing what I do, because not everybody's equipped or built for it to go the road that I went, and not everybody's successful at it. So I wouldn't say what I've done with my life, would be the thing for everyone to try and do. It is very hard to live somewhere else and still, keep your culture, your semblance of yourself and things, and there are pros and cons to it. And maybe at a later date, I'll just go into that and have a conversation about that. And I'll, what I'm saying, but that's later, that's other things that's down the road. But as far as which, let's get into it. Right? You know what I'm saying? Let me give a shout out to the people. You know what I'm saying? Well, I've been rattling off about almost 28 minutes here. So let's give it free. You know what I'm saying? Let's just give it, let me scroll back up here. You know what I'm saying? JustAskChar. Thank you very much. The producers in the house. We good on time. We like this, you know what I'm saying? If you start early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, well, you already know how that is. Xander, what's going on? How you doing? Thanks you for stopping by. RVSOP, what's going on, sir? What's going on? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? You know, CRU Reality, what's going on? What's going on? How you doing? How you doing? Thank you for stopping by. You know what I'm saying? I am listening. What's going on? How you doing? How you doing? Coming through, showing the love and support there. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Educated Areas? What's going on, bro? How you doing, man? Yeah, bro, we got to get up. You know what I'm saying? We got to get up. You know what I mean? When I do a session, you know what I'm saying? So when I do the session thing, we do that open panel. Just let me know when you're free. I might move those around so everybody can get on. What's going on, She? What's going on, bro? How you doing? Doing good work over there, man. Always on with the support, bro. Always with the support. All right, so let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it first. You know what I mean? Because y'all came here, you know what I mean? Y'all ain't came here to hear me rattle off and come off the top of my head, but this is a show and we do have things going on. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is there's some things going on in the world, okay? So this is things that's going on in the world right now. This happened, I think, earlier this week, if I'm not sure. Let me re-refer to that. This happened earlier this week. All right. So the Supreme Court unanimously upholds religious liberty over LGBTQ rights and nods to a bigger win for conservatives ahead. So this happened June 19th. This came out June 19th. This is last Saturday. And it was a dramatic expansion of religious rights, not yet, but the Supreme Court ruling in favor of Catholic adoption agency that that had been excluded from Philadelphia's foster program for refusing to work with same-sex couples will be consequential. It suggests that when the broader questions of whether religious groups have the right to discriminate does come before the justices, they will likely uphold religious liberty over gay rights. The court's decision, delivered in a 9-0 ruling, emphasizes a pluralist approach. The Christian agency gets to participate in adoption programs while adhering to its religious beliefs, and the LGBT couples will continue to have access to other adoption agencies within the Philadelphia system. Now, you're probably, a lot of people don't know what this means, so I'm explaining to you. Okay, they don't know what this means, so I'm gonna give my take on it and explain it to a certain degree. What they're actually talking about and saying, right? Okay. Remember, church and state is separate, right? Now this is a weird thing, right? Because you know, adoption agencies, and stuff like that, they were originally handled by the church. You always hear that thing about people leaving the kids on the doorstep of the church and all of that stuff and yada yada yada, right? So that has always been a thing. Now, of course, you cannot force a church or religious organization in the United States to do certain things, long as they're not violating anybody's civil liberties or something like that. It's a religion, right? Like, you can worship the devil, you know what I'm saying? You have the freedom of religion, right? But church and state is separate. That's why churches don't pay taxes. They you know what I mean? They don't pay taxes, right? So, with this being said, is they could not do that. But that does not mean, that's federally, right? Then there's also state rights. So it's up to the state to do whatever. So whatever the state ruled on, the Supreme Court basically kicked it back down, saying, no, they're not going to change anything. And that's basically what it is. What does this mean is that now, if people want to discriminate against this community, they can actually use the church as a guise, because there was a precedent. There wasn't a precedent set by the Supreme Court. Well, there was a precedent set because they ruled unanimously. You know what I mean? And we all know when Trump was in office, President 4-5, Savage 4-5, when he was in office, he put a lot of conservatives in on the Supreme Court. So a lot of those things and rights and liberties, we got to watch out for those because they are getting pulled back. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now we're going to move into something else. Okay. So now this one is it's really disturbing at the same time, but this has been this was over the weekend, right? So a lot of places have opened up. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether you're vaccinated or not, a lot of places have opened up. People are actually running around now and doing their thing. So I didn't know this was a thing. So here we go. Redneck Rave descends into throat slashing, impalements, and mass arrests. Okay. Now this was Wednesday the 23rd. Today is the 24th for you. It is actually the 25th for me. But this is the news article. A massive country music festival in Kentucky this past weekend started off on a rocky footing. Police found meth, marijuana, and open bottles of alcohol in the first vehicle they stopped at a traffic checkpoint. One of the people in the car had 2 active warrants out for their arrest. We were like, well, this doesn't bode well for the weekend. Now you got to listen to this, right? Okay. So at a police checkpoint, when the police are actually doing their job here. Now, they're doing their job, right? Police found meth, marijuana, an open bottle of alcohol in the first vehicle that they stopped at the traffic checkpoint. One of the people in the car had 2 active warrants out for their arrest. We were like, well, this doesn't bode well for the weekend. Emerson County Sheriff Shane Doyle. He said, this doesn't bode well for the weekend. Police said that by the end of the 5-day bash, dubbed Redneck Rave, one man had been impaled, one woman had been strangled to the point of unconsciousness, and one throat had been slit. In all, Edmonton authorities arrested 14 people, charged 4 dozen people from 5 states. The event, organized by country rapper Justin Time, took place in Blue Holler Off-Road Park and drew a crowd of tens of thousands, dubbing the population of unincorporated town of Ole, which is so small it does not have a stoplight. The Redneck Rave promoters bragged that they had sold more than 20,000 tickets. The lengthy Get Down, advertised as the biggest country party you'll ever go to, boasted a demolition derby, goldfish racing, and a full-scale football game, as well as a series of concerts. Details of the Redneck Rave incidents are grisly. One person slit a friend's throat and remains at large. A 29-year-old man had allegedly strangled a woman till she passed out. One person lost the better part of a finger. Another was impaled when he drove a side-by-side over a 2.5-inch log that broke through the bottom of the recreational vehicle. Paramedics left the log inside of him as they airlifted him to the hospital. Now look, the throat slashing thing, that's crazy. Meth and alcohol don't mix. The 29-year-old lady, the lady that got strangled, hear that. The lost finger, the drove side by side over a 2-inch log that broke through the bottom, hold my beer, Dale. That's what you got right there. I'm just going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you what it is. As you know, the law of averages, right? I'm just going to tell you what it is. I'm just be real. That's what it is. This happened. I guess it was like that it was the last weekend. So it was Juneteenth. For everybody that that was talking about they didn't want Juneteenth, they sure was partying for 5 days. You know what I'm saying? So they had so Juneteenth. So that's 5 days, right? So hold on, wait a minute. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, hold on. So they was partying since Wednesday. So wait a minute. So wait a minute. Hold on. Let me try to break this down, right? Let me unpack this for a little bit. If it was a 5-day bash and people had to get out there, so that mean the whole week nobody was working. And the town doesn't have a traffic light. So even if the person did have a warrant out for their arrest, so 14 people got arrested, but they didn't say that the person with the warrant out for their arrest. If they don't got a traffic light, then they gonna have to call the judge in from the other county to come see somebody. That's how small. All right, hey, like I said, but they're gonna have it again. Don't. Hey, you know they're gonna have it again, right? Because now they got the promo, right? But I feel sorry for those people, the things that happened to them, the person that died, they got a throat slit and all the other stuff. So sorry, you know what I mean? But, whew. Okay, so we got another bit of news. We jump into some finance right now, but is more like some world news. So a lot of y'all remember when you were I remember growing up. I had a Windows computer. We all start off with Windows computers. But if you didn't know, if you weren't in the know, this came across my searches and stuff for things to present to you guys. U.S. software mogul John McAfee dies by hanging in Spanish prison, lawyers says. So if you didn't know, I'm going to let you know what's going down here. Okay, U.S. technology entrepreneur John McAfee hanged himself in his prison cell on Wednesday after a Spanish high court authorized his extradition to the United States on tax evasion charges, his lawyers told Reuters. Known for his eccentric behavior, McAfee, 75, was a pioneer of the antivirus software introduced his Eponymous program in the 1980s, and he had been indicted in Tennessee on tax evasion charges. He also was charged with cryptocurrency fraud case in New York. McCaffrey was arrested in Barcelona airport and then jailed there in October. Prison authorities were investigating the cause of death. Spanish High Court agreed to extradite McCaffrey to the United States. A court document released on Wednesday said that Provincial Justice Department confirmed the U.S. man, aged 75, was found dead in his cell on Wednesday. Gaffey still had opportunities to appeal his conviction, but could not stand more time in jail. The lawyer Javier Velaban said, "This is the result of a cruel system that had no reason to keep this man in jail for so long." During the court hearing, McCaffrey said that given his age, he would spend the rest of his life in jail if he were to be convicted in the United States. "I'm hoping the Spanish court would see the injustice of this," he said, adding to the United States wants to use me as an example. Okay, so it's tax evasion charges, and I think it was the cryptocurrency thing was the biggest thing, right? So, you know what I'm saying? So, hold on, Justin. Oh, wow, the virus protection didn't weed out the fraud he did. Not like, and this is the thing about that cryptocurrency. Everybody was on the Bitcoin thing, but you don't really hear much about it. And the reason you don't hear much about it, right, is because think about it like this. When the pipeline was attacked, right, a couple of months ago, like a month ago, if I'm not mistaken, when they held it hostage and basically ransomware the pipeline by shutting it down remotely. A group of Russian hackers did it, and they said they wanted to get paid in cryptocurrency. You all of a sudden saw these cryptocurrency guys selling their stuff off left, right, and sideways, right, because they knew it was coming down the pipeline. And what they're finding out is, and what cryptocurrency always was, it was a way for people in the black market to move money around through means of information. And then a couple of weeks later, in England, they say, quote unquote, that they were looking, they did a sting operation on this warehouse that they thought was growing like weed or doing drugs or something like that, because of the energy was spiked high, right? And then when they came in there, they found like an illegal data mining cryptocurrency thing. And after that, cryptocurrency, you don't hear nothing about it no more. Everybody's being quiet about the Bitcoin. Everybody's dumping their stocks and all this other stuff. And then next thing you know, you hear another person within the last year or so, since the pandemic, they've been caught up or brought up on some charges of tax evasion with cryptocurrency in tow. So this is not a coincidence. There will be more to come. If you got some type of Bitcoin, I heard it's been down by $35, $40 or something. I suggest you get out of there quick, because they about to do a rude awakening. And to be honest, we've been on crypto for a while. That's what a debit card and a credit card is. So if you don't really, if you actually think about it, but it's actually backed by something verified. But that's just me. The people that make their money off of it, hey, good on you, you know what I'm saying? But it's not something that you want to be dealing with, because you don't even know what you're carrying. You don't know what it's backed by. And you just a pack mule, you know what I'm saying? It's just like somebody walk up to you in the airport and say, hey, man, you want to make $20,000 right now? Just take this here. I'm going to give you half up front and then deliver it here. And don't look in the bag. You don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Don't open it or whatever. Just carry it and deliver it to this person. Now, there's a lot of people that take that on because, you know, they're in dire straits, but then you're paying into it. You're walking up to a person, paying them to take something that you don't know what it is to one point to another point, hopefully to make some money off of it. That's what cryptocurrency in a nutshell, because nobody that does cryptocurrency actually tells you, oh, it's blockchain, is this, that, and the third. They never tell you exactly what it is. If you say, what is the US dollar backed by? Oil. You know what I'm saying? And prior to being taken off the gold standard, it was backed by gold. So we know what, currencies are actually backed by. You don't know what cryptocurrency actually is, and most people can't explain it to you in a way to break it down for you to understand. But hey, big bank breaks little bank, you know what I'm saying, all day. So they let it ride for a bit, but they about to crack down. So just food for thought. You know what I mean? Look at it how you will. But that guy, you know what I'm saying, he saved my Windows computers a lot. And when I didn't pay for that antivirus software, he wasn't saving nothing. So you had to keep updating that McAfee, but he's gone. And that's what happened in the news. Now, we moving on to something else. We moving on to something else. Let's see. Now we're going to talk about New York. New York right now is going through a mayoral election right now. They do have a mayor. The dude he's not doing a good job whatsoever, but um he's been making a lot of missteps. But at the same time, he was it was too much on his plate for his first term as being mayor. But so we're going to talk about this real quick. All right. So let's bring it in. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to hit on with some other stuff. Okay. So I'm a numbers guy. Andrew Yang drops out of the NYC mayor election after falling to fourth place. Now, this is Andrew Yang. He ran for something else before, but what I mean, he dropped out. He was in fourth place. Andrew Yang conceded defeat in New York mayor election after falling fourth place, despite his front runner status at the beginning of the election. All right. So why he's conceding, Yang was one of the first of 13 Democratic candidates to drop out after the results show former police officer Eric Adams in the lead, according to Bloomberg. Now, Eric Adams is a Republican, right? Yang held 11.7% of the vote as of June 23rd, while Adams was at 31.7 with 84% of early and on the day votes counted. Reported The Guardian. Maya Wiley had 22.3 of the votes, and Catherine Garcia came in third, 19.5 of the votes. Now, New York is there's because of what happened last year, the minority population have grown in New York City. To say the least, and there's a lot of young people. There's a lot of influx of young people in New York City as we speak. They've been moving in because rent has been dropping, so they can share apartments. I'm like, even still, it's still expensive in New York. It's still expensive to live in New York at all. But what has happened is the older people that have been in New York for years, they have been migrating south. Because it's your cost of living is expensive once you get into your older years. You start getting up in age, and you're not trying to spend that much money. You know what I'm saying? And even still, you're trying to your daily, so you can rent out your place and go get another place for the price of how much you can rent out your house or apartment in New York. You can be somewhere in a southern state with better weather. uh, Not saying but more southern hospitality people, better air quality food, slower lifestyle, and you can pay off another mortgage and pocket money, for those rising costs of medical bills and stuff as you get older, right? So now what I'm basically saying is that Yang represents, he's American, but Yang represents the Asian population, right? And the Asian population has been leaving or moving away or whatever because of what's been going on with the pandemic, and especially, if you've been reading the news, to stop the Asian hate thing going on. So he was the front runner because all the Asians were out pushing, right? But then you can tell about the population disparity of the numbers, right? And if a lot of the Asians are immigrants to a certain degree, then a lot of them can't actually, legally vote to a certain degree. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can read between the lines of what I'm saying here. So while Adams, he's a Republican, He happens to be African American, or what I'm saying, a black person, black man, and he's what I'm saying, and he's an ex police officer. So he has the police officers base, he has the Republican base. What I'm saying, as there. He has the minority, what I'm saying, and whoever wouldn't vote for him because he's kind of balanced and fair. What I'm saying, on that. He's not ultra conservative, but he's there. And then you would look at who else, and then you're talking about Maya Wiley, what I'm saying? So if you take her first name and Catherine Garcia, that will be a Latino population to a certain degree, right? So if they're splitting those, Andrew Yang, he's not going to win anything. He's in fourth place, and he conceded, what I'm saying? So Andrew Yang says, I'm conceding the race. Yang announced at his campaign party on June 22nd, I am a numbers guy. I'm someone who traffics in what happens in the numbers, and I'm not going to be New York City mayor. A winner from the mayoral election will not be announced for weeks due to its new ranked choice voting system, which calls for voters to rank up to 5 candidates in order of preference. While Yang rose to the top in early polls, he was criticized throughout the mayoral race for leaving New York at the height of the pandemic, in addition to allegedly not knowing the subway routes. So he's not a basically, you being a New Yorker, what I mean? It's something about that on the East Coast. I'm from Baltimore. And if you're not from Baltimore and you're running for mayor or you're running for some type of city council, it's very hard for you to get some type of seat. Saying on the city council as the mayor, because you have it's that you got to be from there, and New York, it's a lot of immigrants in and out, but if there's people that's been only in New York for about 8 months or a year, and they're fresh to the country and they know the subway routes better than you, and you're Maryland, then that shows that you're better than everybody. And the working class, not everybody in New York is kind of like blue collar. They're really blue collar. Like, people don't realize that, what I mean? But New York is really a blue collar industrial place. And they don't take kindly to that, especially with all of those unions and those people that make that city move. So they don't take too kindly to that, and they don't like that. Right. So he received contributions for 24,000 donors, which is the most for any mayoral campaign in New York City history. He spent more than $8 million on the race, which was mainly public funds from the city's dollar matching program. That's $8 million. New York Senator John Liu stated that he's proud of Yang and honored to have been part of his campaign. Now, I want to know, he's got the most contributions. They was really trying to put this man in office, and he failed miserably because he didn't do the groundwork. He didn't put the boots on the ground. You need money, and then you need the hearts and minds of the people. So he stepped out, and if you look over here in this corner, Eric Adams takes a comfortable lead in New York City mayoral primary as Wiley Garcia fight for the second place. I think this guy is going to be, I think he's going to be the mayor, or he's going to give the mayor incumbent right now a run for his money. So look out for that, New York City. Look out for that. You know what I'm saying? Look out for that. You know what I mean? So now we're going to talk about our good old friend Rudy Giuliani. If you don't know, he was the ex-mayor of New York, and he also was the Savage 4-5, or the ex-commander-in-chief, the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump's lawyer, right? And this dude is a terrible lawyer. I'm like, if you ever was going to get a lawyer, like, he should be taken to jail for fraud, because this dude is ridiculous. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is what happened when you surround yourself, and this is just my piece, with yes men. When you surround yourself with yes men, whatever you got built is going to crumble. You know, you need to have people that will challenge you, hold you accountable, and try to help you go in the right direction. So, Rudy Giuliani suspended from practicing law in New York over false 2020 election claims. Now, remember, I think it was in March, the FBI raided his office and his home, took his electronic devices. You was hearing all of this stuff, but he was really putting his foot in his own mouth. They had the audio of him talking, you know what I mean, to other, ministers of other states and other countries and stuff like that. Just all types of foolishness and buffoonery, right? So Rudy Giuliani, the former personal attorney for President Donald Trump, was suspended Thursday from practicing law in New York. Giuliani, who was also the New York City mayor and U.S. attorney, had propagated baseless claims of widespread voter fraud and tried to persuade state legislators to override the will of the voters during the 2020 presidential election. The New York appellate court found that there is an unconverted I'm pronouncing this wrong, but evidence that respondent communicated demonstrably false and misleading statements to courts, the lawmakers, and the public at large in his capacity as a lawyer for the former president of the United Donald J. Trump and the Trump campaign in connection with Trump's failed effort at re-election at 2020. These false statements were made improperly, bolstering respondents' narrative that due to the widespread voter fraud, victory in the 2020 United States presidential election was stolen from his client. The decision said, "We conclude that the respondents' conduct immediately threatens the public interest and warrants interim suspensions from the practice of law, pending further proceedings before the Attorney Grievance Committee." So here's the thing. Giuliani, and this is where he's this is where you take an oath to be a lawyer, you take an oath to be a doctor, right? Take an oath to be a public servant, firefighter and paramedic and police officer and so forth. And you take an oath to be in the military also, that too. But here's the thing, you take an oath of office. So he was not only a lawyer, but he was the lawyer to the commander in chief. Now, what I want to know is, in the history of presidents, I can't remember President Barack Obama's lawyer. I can't remember George Bush Jr.'s lawyer. I can't remember George Bush Sr.'s lawyer. Even though President Clinton went, he got impeached because he lied about the Lewinsky incident. I can't remember his lawyer. I can't remember George Bush Sr.'s lawyer. I can't remember Ronald Reagan's lawyer. I can't remember Jimmy Carter's lawyer. I can't even, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't even around. Actually, I was born in 1981, so I can't remember through history Jimmy Carter's lawyer or Nixon's lawyer, even though he had the Watergate scandal. I can't remember any president's lawyer in history like that, but I can remember Trump, the 45th president of the United States. Trump's lawyer. I remember both his lawyers, right? Michael Cohen and Giuliani. I don't know. We don't even know who the 46th president and the ex-vice president of the United States, Joe Biden's lawyer. So why do we know his lawyer so much? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And that's a problem. If people know your lawyer as much as they know you, that means you always in something. It's like I'm watching a scene out of The Godfather, but it's like it's like it's like a B movie that's at the bottom when you're looking at Netflix. But this is our reality. Like, you know how you're looking through Netflix, you're looking at something to watch. It sounds good, so you just like, I'm gonna watch this, and then you turn it off. You know what I mean? Because you're like, who gave these people money? But this is what we're looking at. And now, is he going to get disbarred? He'll probably retire, if need be. He'll probably make a deal. He'll probably retire, because it actually looks bad on the state of New York. Because, and I'm gonna say like this, right? On the city and the state of New York, because there was obviously this man was unhinged for a long time. He might be suffering from some dementia or something like that. But they're not going to disbar him because he would then be unchained. And what I mean by unchained, he would be a private citizen, and then he could go on every show that he wanted to go, and he could go on a scorched earth campaign, because it won't be Trump that he's going to go at. It'll be everybody else. And he done made a lot of deals, and he is connected, mob wise, in the city of New York. He was the mayor at one time. So we have to take this with a grain of salt. But is this a win for some type of consequence that needed to happen a long time ago? Yes, it needed to happen way before then. But now, since we're here now, so yes, this is a win. So that was Giuliani doing that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break. You know what I'm saying, real quick. We're going to come back in with the last bit of the stories. You know what I'm saying? We got through all of that. And we're going to do some entertaining stories and some opinion pieces for myself. And then we're just going to finish up the show. All right? So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come right back. And you know what I'm saying? And that's how we're going to do it. So let's get it. Let's get it and let's do it.
Hi, this is Char Willie from the JustAskChar Advice channel on YouTube. Join me every Friday night at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for an open panel discussion. You'll find myself, Classic Ruby, and others giving our honest opinion, giving several examples, and problem solving. If you have an email for advice, you can send it to JustAskChar@gmail.com. Hope to see you soon. Peace.
Join Char Willie and Classic Ruby for their radio show, Keep the Beat. They broadcast every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CRBJ, Classic R&B Jams. There are discussions of the songs, and that can take you back down memory lane. If you missed the live broadcast, no worries. Replays are uploaded on Mixcloud. So, follow JustAskChar Advice channel on Mixcloud, and you will receive the notification when these broadcasts are uploaded.
Hey folks, it's your nighttime, it's your right time DJMuziq, and welcome to Classic R&B Jams Radio. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, playing all the hits from the decades, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. Right here, Classic R&B Jams Radio. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, soulful sound all around town. Alrighty then, folks. It's your nighttime. It's your right time DJ. Come on, all you smooth, mellow fellas, and you hip, Laid back ladies, join me each and every Sunday from 7 to 10 p.m. for the Blue Lights in the Basement House Party Jams. That's right, brought to you by the Facebook group, The Basement. Each and every week, Sunday, 7 to 10 p.m. Blue Lights in the Basement, bringing you hit music from the decades, folks. That's right, a little 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and a little something from today. Blue Lights in the Basement, House Party. Classic R&B Jams Radio, the soulful sound all around town.
All right, so we back. All right, so make sure y'all check out the affiliate channels, the radio stations, and so forth. The links to those are in the description. If the mods are around, can you please place those wonderful advertisements and those associate channels in the chat so the people in the chat can be aware of it. All right, so now we're going to go over this again. So, you know what I mean, we're just going to do a review. So tomorrow we have the Just Ask Char advice channel tomorrow. Okay, make sure y'all tune in. Do not be late. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes. Char always has she even has a letter that she gave some advice to someone, and she brings it onto a channel, and she has an open panel discussion with her co-host Classic Ruby, and we get into a detailed discussion sometimes, and we get into our little head canon and talk about it. Or she brings up a subject matter. Last 3 weeks, it's been pumping, really pumping. So go check her out. She's almost close to 1,000 subs. Let's support our lady Char. Let's get it to those 1,000 subs so she can get that community tab and that super chat button. Greatly appreciated. Okay, so and then also on the Just Ask Char advice channel is article reactions on Saturday. And that's when her and her co-host Class Ruby go over articles in a collected way, and they, you know, I mean, it's always great. And they have their current segment, which is always funny and great. So, and then Sunday, of course, is Blue Lights in the Basement. Okay. Blue Lights in the Basement is Sunday. I put the Central Standard Time, but it's actually 7 to 10 p.m. It will be Central Standard Time. It will be 6 to 9 p.m. Go check it out. Wonderful. This is on CRBJ, Classic R&B Jams. You know what I'm saying? Go check that out. Then, you know what I'm saying? Then there is On the Beat Wednesday on CRBJ with our wonderful esteemed Supreme Elder DJMuziq and his co-host, JustAskChar from the JustAskChar Vice channel. Check that out, 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Then keep that radio dial there. Do not go away, because then there is Keep the Beat Wednesday from 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time with Just Ask Char and her lovely co-host Classic Ruby, where they drop all of these wonderful gems of music that you can listen to, bop your head to, until Char gets petty and plays Terrence Howard's song or something, or Ruby annoys Char with some Janet Jackson. But we all love Janet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about Terrence Howard, but anyway, we love, you know what I'm saying? Go check it out. We love, you know, listening to it and having a good time. And then the 1/3 show is on Thursday. The times may vary, but it'll be between 9 and 10 and 11. My schedule kind of moves back and forth, but it'll be on Thursday for the most part. And the first of the month, you know, I won't have a 1/3 show, so I'm just letting you know. I'm just working through this new format. Please bear with me, but let's get it. So please check into all of that. Please check into the associate links. If you're watching it in the replay and the restream, go ahead and look in the description box. They are there. Appreciate you. All right, let's get back to what's going down. Okay, so, you know what I'm saying? And welcome to the people that just came into the room. Callie Jane, what is going on, sis? What's going on, Vonda? Hope you having a Brad, Chad, and Rad free and Karen free week. You know what I'm saying? At the job, you ain't got to strangle nobody. You know what I'm saying? Yerp, what's going on, CJ? Yerp, what's going on, fam? How you doing? Yerp, see you getting that camera clicking, click, click, click. You know what I'm saying? My man getting on his camera thing. So always love to see the family come through and show some love and some support. All right. So we're gonna get back into it. Now, the first thing that we're gonna start off with is I gotta talk about this Rona. So we gotta talk about it. You know what I mean? Because this is to me, this is a little bit misleading, okay, with this new data that they're showing, because they're not telling you the whole story behind it, and they're not supposed to. It is their job to get you to take this vaccine by hell and high water, okay? Now, whether you take it or not is on you. I can't, by YouTube community guidelines, I can't tell you, I can't say what you should do or not. I can only present the information. You do whatever you want with it after that, and I'm going to try to be as partial as possible. But I'm not going to sit up here to the best of my ability and in good conscience lie to you. Okay? So here we go. Nearly all COVID deaths in the U.S. are now among the unvaccinated. Nearly all COVID-19 deaths in the U.S. now are in people who weren't vaccinated, and staggering demonstration of how effective the shot have been, and the indication that deaths per day are now down to under 300, could be practically zero if everyone eligible got the vaccine. An Associated Press analyst of available government data from May shows that breakthrough infections in fully vaccinated people accounted for fewer than 1,200 of more than 853,000 COVID-19 hospitalizations. That is about 0.1%, and only about 150 of the more than 18,000 COVID-19 deaths in May were fully vaccinated people. That translated to about 0.8%, or 5 deaths per day on the average. Among them, only about 45 states reported breakout infections, and so I'm like, it's 50 states, so 45 states. So basically, it's only 5 states that didn't report breakout infections. Some are more aggressive than others in looking for such cases, so the data probably understates such infections. So listen, this is what I'm gonna say right here, right? And you got to listen to how they word these things. When did the vaccine start rolling out, right? And then the Johnson & Johnson vaccine was taken off the shelves because it was causing blood clotting. And then they found out that the place in Baltimore wasn't, the guy got the hookup to keep his company afloat. And then the place in Baltimore was just undermanaged, and it was nasty, and the people were working hard, and they didn't have the proper stuff because they were just trying to make money because his company was going under. And then you got all of this other stuff happening. And then you're talking about, it was preparatory. Like, remember when the vaccine first came out, it was so expensive, and all this other stuff about how they had to transport it and all these other things, right? Now you're saying that it's less than 1%, like, you know what I'm saying, that the people that been vaccinated don't die, but not everybody's got the vaccine anyway. Right. So, and then most of the people that died, like people that were dying, the vaccine wasn't even created. So if you're taking those numbers, right, from when you actually got the vaccine rolled out, and people didn't want to take it because there was so many side effects and nobody knew what was going on because you didn't properly test it. Now you're trying to run on this thing, right? They were offering people money to take the vaccine, giving people free coffee, coupons, show your little thing. Then you talking about you can't go nowhere because you need a vaccine card, passport thing. But look, if you have to take it, you have to take it. But a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, have been getting affected from taking it. So look, we have to sit and we have to wait and see, right? If you got to take it, take it. If you ain't going to take it, hey, we're down to 300 deaths per day when we was skyrocketing some ridiculous number. And I'm talking more in the US and stuff like that. Japan is like way lower. Like, it's like way lower. We had like, it's more people that died from suicide than COVID over in Japan since the pandemic has actually started. So, and like with the area where I live at, to date, we've only had like 50 infections and no deaths where I live at right now. Like where I live at. You know what I'm saying? And I moved from Tokyo, so I live closer to Nagoya. So the two hot spots is Tokyo and Osaka. You know what I'm saying? So, and do what you need to do. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is you have to be careful when you read things, because a lot of times they like to put things in a certain place. They like to put things in a certain place where they're using these tactics to scare you into doing something where they need you to get this so they can push it. Now, what are they trying to do? They're really trying to get everybody back to normal or normality by September, because they can't give another stimulus. They can't it's a lot of things that they can't do, and people need to go to work and kids need to go to school, and you have some normality. If you're looking at these NBA games, the NBA playoffs is going like right now, and if you look at those stadiums, those arenas are packed. They're full. You know, people are just going about it, so they're getting to the point where if you get it, you get it. You know what I mean? And that's probably what they're going to get down to once they got all these doses, because they spent all this money, so they got to get these doses out. Right. So to each his own, do whatever you need to do, try however way you need to try it. But yeah, I'm just saying what it is. Now that we talked about that, we're gonna get into some other stuff. We're gonna get into some other stuff. Now we're gonna talk about these good old pasas. Right, we're going to talk about these good old passes. Now we get into I call it the I said we get into the what I call it the fun part. You know what I'm saying? Former Kansas City Royal star Ben Zabarski says wife had an affair with the pastor. Okay, so this guy, he, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's when they won the World Series. That's him right there. Okay. More than a year after he took a leave of absence from Chicago clubs to try to save his marriage, former Kansas City Royal star Ben Zabowski learned his wife, Giuliani, was having an affair with the man acting as a pastoral counselor for the couple. Oh, Lord. You know what I'm saying? He must have, man, him and Pimp Greasy must have studied at the same school of theology. Man, good old Pasa, right? Good old Pasa. My bad. I'm sorry. I can't use Pasa. If I use Pasa with this person here, then they'll say it's cultural appropriation. So I'll say pastor. Good old pastor. Yes. We'll pronunciate each vowel. You know what I'm saying? And consonant. Okay. All right. So, according to the lawsuit filed in Bosque against Byron Yawn, wow, okay, who at the time was the senior pastor and the elder at the Community Bible Church in Nashville, Tennessee. Well, man, wait, man, they in Tennessee, so I can say Pasa. Okay, in Tennessee, we can say Pasa now, right? According to the court documents obtained by Peoria Journal Star in Illinois, Zambowski is seeking damages in the amount of $6 million from Yon, who had provided counseling to the couple before and during their marriage, the suit says. Hold on, wait a minute. So is these the fees that you pay? You can't sue Pasa. Can't sue Pasa. That money didn't go to Pasa. That money went to God. That money went to God. That didn't go to Pasa. You suing Pasa? Nah, you're suing God now. That's God led him. If you was doing what you're supposed to do, she wouldn't be in the arms of Pasa right now. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't be in the arm of Pasa right now. But let's read. It wasn't until June 3rd, 2020 that Zimboski learned of the affair when his wife admitted for the first time in response to a set of written requests for admission in divorce proceedings that she and Byron Yarn had been engaged in sexual relationship for months and that she had lied about this to Mr. Zimboski, the lawsuit states. The Journal reported Zimboski filed for divorce in May 2019 in Williams County, Tennessee, where he and his wife reside. Giuliani Zimboski filed a counter complaint in March 2020. Those cases are pending. The lawsuit also says Yarn defrauded Zimboski's charity foundation, Patriot Forward. Yarn received a paid salary from Patriot Forward and used it as an excuse to meet with Julia Zimboski. Wow. Wow. Whoa. So let me get this straight. You go to this pastor for marriage advice. Then you use him to help your foundation, but he takes the money from the foundation, doesn't put a doorknob on the church or keep the foundation running, but takes your wife out. So what I want to know was they getting it down or praying to God on the money? I'm just trying to say, so, and this is the thing I was talking about, happiness, right? So I do have the question: is this a high value man? Is this a 6-figure man? I think he is. I think he's well beyond that, because if he's suing for $6 million, right? Lord. Let's just look at Pasa was getting down. Pasa was getting money from the wife. Pasa was getting money from the husband. Pasa was getting money from the little chilling that they were supposed to be helping. This is just too much. I can't. Like, I really can't, right? So that's that. The link is in the description box if you would like to read more into that. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're going to talk about this BBC thing, BBC News. We're going to bring this up here. Something that's going on. Now, we have some people that are in the space that are very, their religion, and their religion carries certain connotations, right? There's a lot of people that subscribe to different religions. I was brought up, with a foundation in the Christian faith, but I kind of veered off and did my own thing. I believe in there is a higher power, but he's too busy because he already got us on cruise control and he's doing whatever he's doing. So I believe in the laws of the universe or whatever. So that's enough for me, right? And that's enough for me. But what we're going to talk about now is Egypt, right? And Egypt is a country that does have Christianity there, but they are heavy Muslims, right? So let's bring that up. So I'm going to talk about Egypt. This is BBC News. Egypt detains female TikTok star after human trafficking conviction. So this is the woman in question. Okay. This is the woman in question, right? Okay. Now, a TikTok star has been detained in Egypt 2 days after she and another influencer were convicted of human trafficking and giving long jail terms. Now, what do you mean? What were they doing? Were they, they locking little girls and boys up in a shipping container and shipping them all around the world and kidnapping them and stuff? Let's read on, because I don't think that's what happened, but let's read on. Hane Hassam, 20, posted a video on Monday in which she asked for clemency, saying she had never harmed anyone. On Sunday, a court in Cairo sentenced her in absentia to 10 years in prison. Co-defendant Mawa Al-Hadim, 23, who was present, was sentenced to 6. They were accused of exploiting girls through video sharing apps for money. Okay? The verdict came 5 months after another court overturned prison sentences that Hassam and Adam were given for violating family values with videos they posted on TikTok. Human rights activists say the two women have been prosecuted as part of the crackdown by Egyptian authorities targeting female social media influencers on charges that violate their rights to privacy, freedom of expression, non-discrimination, and body autonomy. Egyptian court overturns TikTok stars' jail sentences. Why was my sister jailed for dancing on TikTok? Egypt's sex attacks fuel feminist resolution. So, Haslam, a Cairo University student who has about 900,000 followers on TikTok, was first arrested in April 20 after posting a video inviting her female followers to join another video sharing platform, Likey, telling them that they could make money by broadcasting videos on it. Prosecutors later charged her with violating family values and principles. Now, here's the thing. She's in a Muslim country, right? And they really take that very seriously in said Muslim country, right? So if this is how Islam is, we hear about it, the honor killings, we hear about, the Sharia law and stuff like that. What I'm trying to figure out is, how are you? The link is in the description, so I want y'all to see my face when I'm saying this. How are you on a media platform? Now, the United States is free. You can say what you want. You can kind of say what you want to a certain degree. But how are you in this type of religion and acting certain ways as a female, especially as a female, on these platforms? Disparaging other females, saying that they are this, that, and the third, cursing and carrying on, and being very graphic in the nature of how you please men and stuff like that, because they gave this woman 10 years for dancing on TikTok. Now, this is Egypt. This is a whole other country. So if this is how they carry themselves to that extreme, just wanted to know. Now, so I'm going to get to my last and final one here. Okay. We're going to talk about Britney Spears. This has been in the news. It's been a thing. She's been talking about this, and this is very interesting. And if we follow Britney Spears' career, you can't not help but to follow Britney Spears' career. I actually worked with Kevin Federline when he came over here. We had him over here for a 2-day tour, being a DJ and stuff like that. Very cool dude, very down to earth. Everything that they told you in the media about Kevin Federline is actually a lie. You know what I mean? Because he can't be that bad of a guy if he got custody of the kids, right? So here we go. Britney Spears calls conservatorship abuse, says she is not allowed to get married or have a baby. Right? Now, you're probably saying, like, what are you talking about? Right? So let me break it down. If you haven't heard it, if you haven't watched it, but I'm going to break it down to you, and I'm going to give you my perspective on it. We're going to wrap things up. Britney Spears on Wednesday spoke out against her court-ordered conservatorship, telling Judge Brenda Penny, now Brenda Penny, keep that in mind, that it has been abusive and traumatizing, and she has no autonomy over her own body. The 39-year-old singer has been under conservatorship since 2008 with her father, Jamie Spears, the conservator of her $60 million estate, $60 million estate, mind you. Now, this woman is 8 figures, but she, at a certain time, she had multiple mental breakdowns in which she could not raise her kids. She had to give her kids up to her ex-husband, Kevin Federline. He has custody of the kids. The kids are grown. They're great. Whatever. He's a great father. He got remarried. He's good. He's over there minding his business. He's got, I think, a total of 6 kids. He's got 4 with his new wife, his wife that's currently, and he got 2 with his ex-wife, right? So, and she just was in the news just I think months ago where she was taking pictures with the kids. So, okay. Now, Britney Spears was really managed by her mom and her sister and all of them. So when she had a mental breakdowns and stuff like that and whatever, her dad took over in 2008. I'm giving you the backstory. So from 2008 to 2021, right? And she was gone for a long period of time because she had to go into the mental hospital and stuff like that. He protected her estate with the lawyer in question. So it grew. So how was you not really doing stuff from 2008 up until I just recently, up until I say about 2015, 16, you kind of came back. So for 8 years, but he grew your estate to $60 million. Now you're no longer a child. You got your mental faculties in order. Let's do it. The hearing was made public at Britney Spears' request, and she addressed the court by telephone, speaking for about 30 minutes. Spears told the judge she wants conservatorship to end without having to complete a health evaluation and hopes to sue my family over her treatment. Now, here's the thing. This is the state of California. You have a conservatorship. The reason why they have those things in place is because a lot of elderly rich people were being ran down. Their wealth was getting snatched by scam artists, right? And the conservatorship is if someone shows any type of inability mentally wise to handle their self or whatever, you can take over the estate being the family member. But you have to prove that they are not mentally well. Now, she wants this done without a health evaluation. Because if she has a health evaluation, she knows she's going to fail. Because if you're asking for this pointed thing, then the court order would be non-biased because they would bring in their person, right? But she knows she's going to fail it, and then the conservatorship would not go away. Okay? So, and she wants to sue her family for her treatment, but we'll just get into it. So, I've told the world that I am happy. It's a lie, Spears said. I've been in denial. I'm traumatized. I'm not happy. I can't sleep. She is so angry. It's insane. She added, and I am depressed. Spears says she believes the conservatorship is abusive and she doesn't feel like I can live a full life. Spears shares 2 teenage sons with her ex-husband, Kevin Federline, and she told the judge it is her dream to have more children, but it's not allowed. I want to be able to get married and have a baby. She said, I was told right now in conservatorship, I am not able to get married or have a baby. I have an IUD inside of myself right now, so I don't get pregnant. She wants it removed. She said, so I can start trying to have another baby, but this so-called team won't let me go to the doctor to take it out because they don't want me to have any more children. Wow. You can read the rest of it however way you see fit, but, and this is what I was talking about, happiness. This is what I was talking about, happiness within yourself. She has 2 children. She wasn't around to raise them. Then she was not mentally stable to the point where they implanted an IUD inside of this woman so she wouldn't make the decision of having a child, right? And I'm like, if she can, I'm trying to fathom what's going on. Can she, like, if she can walk around normally with no one, she can go do these deals because she has a residency in Las Vegas right now. So who did that deal? Because she had to, did the father sign off on the deal so she can make the money, but she can't get married or have a child or whatever. She can't take the ID out, or like, can she fly in and out of the country? Like these are deep thoughts or whatever, or what's going. I'm trying to wrap my head around this, and I can't. really understand it. But here's the thing. She says she can't sleep at night because she's not happy. So this also proves that because, we keep hearing this, you got to make a certain amount of money. We keep hearing that if you make a certain amount of money and this, that, and the third, if you're 6 figures, if you're 7 figures, if you're 8, if you're 9, if you're 10 figures and stuff like that. And we always hear that if you're not getting divorced, if you're not breaking up in a relationship because of money, is because the person's not happy, right? So the old saying, money doesn't lead to happiness, right? And she probably feels like a bird that's in a cage or got her wings clipped. And she was young when they brought up in the industry, and a lot of these child stars have these issues and these problems, and they're always getting into something. Because they didn't get out of that stage. They were spoiled because they were the money makers. They were the breadwinners because of their talent. This woman's 39 years of age. She has an estate of $60 million. Sometimes as a parent, and I would say like this, I think that was a little extreme to a certain degree with the IUD thing. I don't know how that worked out. That's a surgical chastity belt, if you can't say the least. That's a medical chastity belt, basically. Because she didn't ask for the birth control. It was put on her and stuff like that, right? But we all saw the implosion of her mental health. But there does come a time where a person gets better where you have to let them go and let them do their thing. And a lot of times where you let someone else in charge of your happiness, you lose, you know what I'm saying? You lose control of your life. And sometimes you got to say enough is enough. And you and when you like just recently, Naomi Osaka decided she didn't want to talk to the media because she wasn't happy. Her mental health was at stake. And they basically told her, like, yo, if you don't talk, we're going to find you and this, that, and the other. And she said, all right, well, I'm out. Right? And she pulled out of Wimbledon. And she went back on social media. She released her Vogue thing because basically she's saying is, I can make money when I see fit because my mental health is paramount. And that means her happiness is paramount. Now, sometimes we can't do everything that we happy because we're adults. Because if we did that, like Cerulean said, we would be derelict. But let me read this and what Ruby said here. I've been following this story for a long time. Conservatorship is the same principle as criminal conviction. The state goes for finality, so the smallest thing keeps in one place. Okay. Well, yeah, she had a lot of, she did, yeah. So based on everything I've read in the past 6 years or so, they're totally gaslighting her and threatening her to control her, and it really is a messed up situation. Yeah, sure enough is. Was it IUD shoot up the club? No worries. Don Teasy, what's going on, man? God, I can't be reading Don Teasy stuff sometimes. Well, it may be a good thing that they put an IUD in her. Britt was a buck wild at one point, and she could have ended up pregnant by Soulja Boy Lil Wayne. Yeah, she was out there bad. She was out there bad. You know what I'm saying? But and this is just my opinion on this: is you have to go for your happiness within the realms of not impeding on someone else's, and if someone else is impeding on your happiness, they got to hit the dope. I'm just being real. You got to be good for your mental health. And you have to take time out and you have to put that in perspective. Now, for everybody that's in the chat, appreciate y'all coming through. For the mods and everybody that's there, how many likes do we have on the stream? Because I'm not looking at it through YouTube. I'm not looking at the YouTube chat other than on StreamYards. So can I get a number of how many likes we have on the stream? We got 19 likes. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. We on our road to 100 500 subs. You know what I'm saying? Share the stream if you can. Please subscribe to the channel. Tell me what's going on. Let's get it. Let's get it. And let's hit it. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to do it.
Turner! 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 Turner!
All right, you know what I'm saying? So your happiness has to be what it is. I appreciate every last one of you for coming through. Let's go through the list. We got some other people that came in afterwards. We got Don Teasy came through. We got Classic Ruby came through. Third World Columbia. What's up, fam? How you doing, man? Nice to see you coming through. Show us some love on the channel, man. We gotta link up at some time. Have a nice conversation. Simply Neek, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The supreme and esteemed elder JustAskChar doing God's work. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to do it, but the elder always comes through laying down the good word. Appreciate everybody that came through. So you can always read my stuff, especially to the impressionable kids. Luckily my kids are grown and I got like a 17-year-old. So yeah, we going on, right? We're a little bit over the time. You know what I mean, about 11 minutes over, but I'm cool with it. Long as you're cool with it, I'm having a good time. You're having a good time. Y'all stay safe out there. Watch out for people. Do not let anybody intrude on your happiness. Do not put that much energy into it. And disengage with people. Sean, yo, my bad, fam. I missed you. Yo, Jay Sean, what's up, man? Yo, that stream was epic last week, man. Yo, shout out to you, brother. You know what I mean? Having you and Cerulean and L Nixon and Sheed up, man. It was a ball, man. We got to do those again, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to get our times right, man, so we can do it again and just chop it up. You know what I'm saying? So no one's going to beg you to be great, but we will hold you accountable. We will hold you accountable. No one will beg you to be great. All right? And remember, do not be like this guy. Do not be like this guy. Okay? Do not sit up here like this guy, angry at the world. Happiness is a kick in the balls waiting to happen. Do not be jaded like this guy. You know what I'm saying? Because this is how everybody else in that, a lot of people in that space, they walk around acting like this. Okay? Happiness is a kick in the balls waiting to happen. Do not be jaded because you are in charge of your own happiness. Y'all have a wonderful evening and good night.
I never think, I never know. I'm stuck and left alone. I've been lost, I've been fine. My cause is not defined. Won't you kiss me? Won't you play? Won't you trust me? Ain't no way I could deny you. I could try. Won't you kiss me? Ain't no way. Want you. Come and try me now. So come and try me.